Hello, Infused Transitions. I would love to welcome all of you here. Excuse me. For those of you who are new, thank you so much for stopping by, for checking us out. We hope that you enjoy this reading and our channel. If this reading doesn't seem to resonate with you, I would suggest going and checking out any one of the other videos that are already up for this channel. And as always, guys, only take what resonates and leave the rest. For those of you who are returning, thank you guys so much for your continued support, for you being here. Truly, greatly appreciate each and every one of you. And again, as you know, only take what resonates, leave the rest. You can all of you can find any contact information or more about me, how I read, etc. in the description box below. So you can go check that out. Today we are going to simply do almost like an open read. Well, it is an open read, but with a specific topic, I guess, so that anyway. I wanted to talk a little bit more about like my work. Okay. So, infusedtransitions.com. So if you go there and you can check that out, talks a little bit about some of the services that I do. Now, I work on an energetic level, multidimensionally. Okay. I work on beliefs, emotions, traumas. We work on cleaning up and clearing out the things that are no longer serving you. And, you know, then cleaning up that freed up space. And then, of course, bringing in, you know, the beautiful things that we do want, you know, things that are balanced, aligned, and harmonious for us. We work on getting ourselves fully connected with our soul. Yes, we are all actually connected, but we create a lot of interference, shall we say. Yeah, and this creates a lot of illusions in our lives. So anyways, I was thinking about that, and I decided let's just do a reading. We're just going to do a reading really quick on... I say really quick. I never know when I start readings. I don't set an intention of it has to be in this time frame. It's just whatever I go till the messages stop. Anyway, we're going to look at energy before you do the work with me, and the energy after you do the work with me. And now, obviously, this is general, so it is a very generalization. But yeah, we're just going to see what comes up. We're just going to see what comes up. As you guys know, all decks have been pre-shuffled. I do like to shuffle here on camera just so that you can see for yourself that cards are shuffled. Some of them I can shuffle this way, but then like this deck, I can't do that way because the cards are too thick. So I have to do it the other way. Look at that. 2 knights on the bottom of the deck. All right. So let's look at the energies for before someone comes to work with me. Let's look at the energies before. Okay, that started to come out, but it went back in. It was the 5 of Pentacles, being left out in the cold, struggles with finances. Interestingly enough, money and love have very, very similar vibrations and frequencies. And that if you have trouble in one, frequently, not always, but frequently, you'll have trouble in the other one, whatever that looks like for you. All right. And it came out again. Let's see, what do we have here? Yeah. And didn't I say the moon came out before, right? And I said, oh, a lot of illusions. Yeah. Let's get one more, please. Oh, there we go. Yeah. All right. And we do have the Five of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Five of Cups talks about change. Fives are about change. And this particular five, we see he's staring at these three cups that have fallen over and spilled out. There's two cups behind him that are standing upright. You know, those of you who know tarot or have watched for any amount of time know that, you know, all the saying is if he would just turn around, he'd see he still has these two cups. He would see that there is this bridge in the background that would take him over to a new place, new space. Now, this could mean geographically, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, energetically, intuitively, all of the above, combinations of thereof. You know, I mean, it's different for everybody. But the bottom line is there's an opportunity for change there. Okay. So we have a lot of major arcana cards here. So major arcanas are about major life changes, where the minor arcana are more about the day-to-day experience, okay? So what I'm seeing about this, now mind you, again, this is about the before. We see the Magician. So the Magician talks about, I see inner peace, because we do have the peace lily here. We also have the red roses. So we're talking about love and peace. I would say these are things that either that one believes they have, or this is about someone, or this is about, that's the desire that you wish to bring into your life. And that this has you experimenting and trying to figure out, how do I create that? Right? What tool do I need? Now you see the Magician has everything he needs at his fingertips. He also has the infinity sign above his head. I guess that was a little off, huh? Infinity sign above his head. He's got his workbench there. He's ready to do the work. He's ready to take this on. I was going to say, you see he's got the wand, but actually the wand is on the table. It's almost, to me, it almost looks like, and I'm not saying this is what it is in by the book, by definition. Again, I'm an intuitive reader, so I read what the cards relate to me. If it doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't resonate with you. But I was going to say, to me, that almost looks like a candle, and that saying, you know, when you're burning the candle at both ends, like I'm like really working and trying to figure things out. Okay. Wanting to create change, but maybe just not knowing how to create that change. How do I do this? How do I bring all of this about that I'm wanting to shift, right? Yeah, it's like there's all this bounty that's around me, but it's not what I have. It's not what I have inside, and this is what I want, right? How do I create that? Then we have the Queen of Cups here. Now, if you take a close look at her, you're going to see, so she's got cherubs on her, carved into her chair, her throne. I feel like this is saying you have a lot of angelic support, a lot of, you have a team, right? You have your spirit team. And everybody's spirit team is made up of different combinations, okay? There's you know, ancestors, angels, there's spirit guides, there's animal totems, animal spirits, there's you know, the list goes on and on. But she's looking at, and I can't remember what this is called. It is actually a piece it's in the Bible. I can't remember what it's called. Either which way, she's really peering into this. Cups are about emotions, okay? So she's really looking into her emotions. She's really trying to figure something out. Maybe she's trying to heal her heart. Maybe she's trying to understand why her heart, she's dealing with things that she's dealing with, or how do I shift from this to that, whatever that is, okay? We also have the High Priestess here. Now, the High Priestess, this is a person or a being, if you will, that knows what's behind the veil, right? She's very spiritual. She's very connected. We do see moon energy here, which is about, and she has the Torah scroll. And again, we have balance because we have the two pillars of opposites, and she's very at peace there in the center. Her bottom of her robe also looks very watery, which again is about emotion. But it's almost like she has all of this under control, right? She's also got this up here. I forget what the hat is called. But very much about that spiritual connection, that spiritual, having that, that light is within, and that light, her crown is where she gets her connection and her knowingness from. Pomegranates are about abundance and fruition. She's very intelligent. She's anyways, bottom line, this is the High Priestess. This is also about divine femininity. Even if you're a man, everybody, man or woman, you have both masculine and feminine energies. This one happens to be about the divine feminine. This could be someone that you would go to. This could be a side of you. This could be maybe somebody you already know. This could be someone that you're going to run into, or someone you may seek out. Or it could be just, this is what you're looking for, is this kind of connection, this kind of knowingness, this kind of spiritual understanding, or pursuing spiritual growth, because we do have wanting something to do with the emotions and the heart. Maybe wanting to have more understanding of the self within, but from a higher perspective. Okay. So then we move down here to this Five of Pentacles. Now the Five of Pentacles, again, fives, we've got the Five of Pentacles, the Five of Wands, and the Hierophant, which is 5 in the major arcana. This is a potential possibility, opportunities, however you want to word that, for change, a lot of it. But we have the Five of Pentacles here. Okay, so with the Five of Pentacles, it talks about being left out in the cold. It can talk about loneliness. It can talk about feeling like you've been abandoned or you're stranded. It's about struggle, strife, poverty. It can be about illness, whether that is physical illness, mental illness, heart illness, meaning heart pain, heart mourning, grieving, sadness, bereavement, those kinds of things. And I will say here, I am not a professional in any of those things. I am not a professional. If you're looking for that kind of help, assistance, support, information, you'll need to look for that elsewhere, because that's not what this is about. You can also find that in my disclaimers in the description box below. So, but I feel like it's like, okay, but we're moving through this. Now the woman is barefoot. The guy has possibly a shoe on one foot, or it could be just another sock. And he has another sock on the other foot, or bandage, but it's also bare. He's got bare toes. So there's a lot happening in this card, and it is a lot of struggle. And again, this is about day-to-day life. This is about day-to-day life. There's this pursuing of wanting better, wanting more. And I would say too, there is this Five of Pentacles is in this mosaic glass stained glass window, right? So there's color, but it's like neither one of these people see it. They see the black and white. They're not seeing the color in life. They're not seeing color in their lives. They're not seeing balance. And when I said that, I just heard also injustices. So this could be somebody or people who are dealing with either a injustice or several injustices that have contributed to being put in this space and area. And with that said, I will say one of the things that I work with a lot in people, with people is learning to accept the decisions and choices that we have made that put us in these boats, right? We all have free will, free choice. Whether we choose to exercise that or give that control away to someone else is also our free will, free choice, our decision. Now, with that said, coming to that understanding and accepting it, and accepting it is a very big part of it, can be extremely challenging for us because nobody wants to admit, right, that, yeah, I have to own that. I put myself in this position. I did A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay, so recognizing that, understanding that that was your choice and your decisions that you did that. Now, I'm not saying that we do this like, oh, I'm going to go choose to be unhappy and be poor and be this and be that. I'm not saying that. It's more of a lot of times we don't even realize what we're creating until we're in it. And then it's like, oh my gosh, what did I do? Why did I create this? But a really, really big step of that, again, is awareness, acceptance, without judgment. It's not about judging ourselves, beating ourselves up, feeling and thinking poorly and bad about ourselves because we're in whatever situation. It's about, okay, so now I know I did this, and I know I can see now I made these choices that put me over here, and I don't like it, right? I realize that I'm over here, or I'm over here, either way of the polarity you want to look at it, right? And I want to get to this place of balance. I want to have harmony and alignment within myself, between myself and my higher self or my soul self in my life, right? So what do I need to do that, right? It can be really challenging to accept that we have to own what we've created. The good news is that we can, if we've created it, we can uncreate it. The other thing of that to understand is that a lot of us are looking for that quick fix, okay? Though I do believe very, very strongly and wholeheartedly that the work that I do and the work that many light workers, star seeds, healers, whatever they want to call themselves do is way faster than things that I have experienced and gone through in the past to try to heal. It does still take time. I don't believe or feel that for the most part, there are no instantaneous or overnight 180s, everything in my life and all life areas instantly change. Now, I'm not saying it's not possible. I just don't think it's probable. Okay. So even though that, with that said, I do feel there's a lot of times doing these other things as well can speed up greatly our healing time, our shifting time, okay? So then we have this King of Pentacles. So they're heading in this direction. It's like, this is where I want to go for some. For others, it's like, no, there's this person. Maybe it's the person who holds all the purse strings. Maybe it's the person who's withholding what is rightfully yours. Maybe it's a person coming along who you think is going to offer you this awesome opportunity. Maybe it's a job. Maybe it's you. Maybe you have everything, but there's still no fulfillment. If you look at his face very carefully, he doesn't really look all that happy. It's like, you have everything. How can you not be happy? Well, having money and wealth doesn't necessarily guarantee that you're going to be happy. And also, again, this could be somebody who's withholding things, or maybe this was you, or maybe this was a partner of some sort, or a job, or a situation you were in, but there was a lot of illusions. Things were not what they seemed. There were secrets. There are things that were withheld. There were things that came between other things. Things were separate, not really in unity. One overshadowed the other. This created a lot of conflict, whether that is within or in your environment or within relationships or all of the above or some or other things. It just created a lot of chaos, a lot of disruption, a lot of pieces just don't fit together. It's like when you're trying to build something, but nothing, there's things missing and there's wrong parts. And so things just don't fit. And then here we have the Hierophant. Now I find this interesting because the Hierophant with the High Priestess is considered a very high level, high powered, high spiritual, high vibrating, however you want to say that, couple. And we do have a King and Queen here of opposites because they're not of the same suit. You have Cups and you have Pentacles. Pentacles are very earthy, and then you have Cups, which are very emotional. But when we're looking at the Hierophant, and again, he is the 5 in the major arcana, this can be talking about major, major, major life changes. It also can talk about organizations, rules, dogma, it can be talking about beliefs that, well, this is how we've always done it. Well, I was taught we do this. We don't go outside this box. We don't cross this line. We don't do this. We don't do that. He can also be someone who represents legal things. Like people are coming to him and saying, okay, this is my side. This is my side. I need you to make a decision. Who's right here? What's the answer here? How can we, it's like, here's the keys. There's 2 keys here that are crisscrossed. And it's like, again, and he also has the 2 pillars, just like the High Priestess. But again, it could be representing legal issues. However, it's requiring a moving on. There's a requirement to leave things behind that are just no longer serving and moving on. And again, notice how we have the Sun and Moon. Here it looks like the Moon is in front of the Sun. And now it looks like the Sun is in front of the Moon. Lighting your path, lighting your way, your direction. The illusions fell away and came off. And now you have the Sun guiding your steps. And it all comes down to a decision. A decision. Again, a decision needs to be made. A weighing of the pros and cons. Whether that is, am I going to change this, that, or the other? Am I going to change myself? Am I going to work on healing? And, sometimes that requires us to move on and leave some things behind, whether that be people, places, things, situations, environments, jobs. I mean, it's different for everybody. And it can be multiple things that we end up having to leave behind, which we see as a hint here because it's the 8 of Cups. So there's 8 different categories or things or however subjects, whatever you want to label it as, that get left behind, whether that is literally 8 or it's just showing the example that it's multiple things. That's, up to you. But we do see that should you choose to do that, you successfully make it to this other side of the land. You've made it through the water. You've left these things behind, and you are on the other side. This person does have a staff that they're using to lean on, or a wand, however you want to say it. I would say a staff to lean on to give them help and support to continue moving. Look at that. We have this stuck and the King of Pentacles. Okay. To me, the Hangman, when it's in the upright, which is him being upside down, he's attached to this tree. We can't see his hands, but his hands are behind his back, so we can assume that his hands are tied. And we can frequently feel like our hands are tied, right? We can feel that way. But we also have this King of Pentacles, and again, this Seven of Wands. You have to stand your ground, right? It's this conflict. And then, but there's this opportunity, if you just want to take it, that is about love and having your cup run over with love. And it doesn't have to be love of another person. It can be love of the self. It can be contentment within your own life, which happens to come through a tower moment, or you could look at it as a portal moment. Yes, you may be wounded, but that doesn't mean that you can't come out of that. These are all behind that person, and they have the one that they use to support and help them to get through the other stuff. Ugh, these ones are really hard for me to do because they don't really bend, and I don't want to bend them because that's how I keep my cards looking so nice, or as nice as possible. Let's do one more. Okay. All right. Okay. So now we're going to look at, when someone comes to work with me. Let's look at when someone comes to work with me. Thank you. Okay. First one out, Six of Pentacles. To me, the Six of Pentacles is the minor arcana's version of justice. He does have the scales here. He is distributing the money, and he's giving money to one, but he has not given anything to the other. We don't see any money in his hand anyway. But we do see that things are being distributed so that the scales of justice can be balanced. And I believe over here I mentioned something about injustices. Oh, wrong way. All right. What else? Yeah, see? The Eight of Pentacles. This is about working on your craft, working on shifting things, working on changing things, honing, fine-tuning, shifting up. I would say that, again, if we have trouble with love, we typically, not always, typically have trouble with money. But this is also about finding something that is fulfilling, something that you want to invest your time in. Yeah, see, we have the Wheel of Fortune turns in your favor because it's not in the reverse. It is in the upright. It's a major arcana. There is a lot of support here. And didn't I mention something about your spiritual team and that it can be made up of a variety of beings and energies, right? And then again, we have this Eight of Cups, that moving on, moving to better, making decisions and choices to leave things behind that are just not serving you, things that are not aligned. Having to face things and then let them go when they don't align and don't serve you anymore. Right? Yeah, see? Page of Pentacles, a brand new opportunity, a messenger of some sort, or a meeting of a person, something to do with your money. And we see that very strongly because we already have 3 of those pentacles out of here. Now, hear me out here. I'm not saying money is everything. In this reality, though, right, money is one of the main things that makes the world go round. I mean, you can say that's not true, but I mean, it's the reality of things, right? It's the reality of things. Money is a very strong component in this reality, in this dimension at this time. Yeah, see, but there are things ending. It's being able to lay down these burdens and let them go. To lay down these burdens and let them go so that we can just move on. Now, this person isn't all the way to market yet, but they're heading in that direction. Again, it does take time. It does take time. Yeah, see? The World. A victorious ending. And again, look at all that spiritual support. Surrounded by the laurel leaves. And again, there's these candles, but now there's balance because there's one in each hand. There's balance, right? And again, we have the High Priestess. The High Priestess is here. There's that support. There's that that knowingness, that stability. There's insights, wisdom, balance. What else? Can we get one more? Thank you. Yep. Queen of Swords. Now, if any of you watch Cindy with Awakening to Spirit, who is also a reader here on Amazon, here on YouTube. And she calls the Queen of Swords, and I love this. She calls the Queen of Swords her cut a bitch card, because this is about coming out stronger. And notice she's very clear-minded. You don't see her head shrouded in clouds. You know, she's very decisive. Yes, I am open. I'm open, but I'm not taking any shit. If I find that this is not serving me, that this is not good for me, that this isn't aligned, it's gone. This is learning to stand in your power, learning to stand for you, learning to stand for that which is aligned for you to do for you. Okay? And again, she has the cherub and a butterfly on her. There's the cherub, there's the butterfly on her throne. She has three butterflies. She's got a big one down here and one at the top underneath the cherub and at the top of this crisscross thing. And it's like, if you look at the trees and all the clouds, all right, there's a lot of clouds around behind her, right? And you look at these trees and it looks like they're blowing, right? And then you got all the clouds. So it looks almost like there's a storm that it can be brewing around her. But she's still very firm, very clear, very strong, content. She knows what she wants. She knows what she's going for. And that's it. You know, she can be flexible because she has her hands open, but she's also not going to take anything. And her crown is made of butterflies. So transformation, transformation, transformation. There's a lot of transformation in this. 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 butterflies and a bird flying overhead, taking flight. I would also say here we have this tiny little, I don't know if it'll show up very well there, but you have this tiny little, what looks like it could be a star, because it's not a cloud, because all the clouds are very defined. Do you see that? Could be a star, could be someplace distant, but or it could be just, you know, her connection with the etheric. But the bottom line is, I mean, you aren't able to maintain, have, and sit on a throne, be the queen of the self without the work, right? So yeah, there's that. I will say too, you know, again, whether it's me or it's someone else you guys go work with, the point of doing this reading was, yes, for you to see what working with me holds potential for you in a variety of ways. I would also say, whether it's me or someone else you work with, it's important to find that person that you jive with, the person who feels aligned with you, someone that you feel like you can trust. That doesn't mean you just, again, okay, well, here you go, and you give them all control of yourself. And no, this is about a partnership. This is about working together. This is about you taking ownership of you. So, and with all of that said, I will say this. My website is up. My website you can go to. Again, it's at that infusedtransitions.com. But here's the thing. There, the main services that I do, it's a very brief description. Okay. It is not, or I should say it's brief because it's straight, it's to the point. Obviously, if you want to know more, you can do the free discovery call. Yes. And I will also say, because I've had somebody who put some very low vibing projection onto the fact that that's vague, for one, and then they researched me and felt that they had come to a conclusion that I was not above board. Now, you may say, well, why are you saying that? Because I feel transparency is important, because I feel that truth and honor and integrity is paramount, whether you're doing this kind of work or anything else. These are core values. And I feel like maybe that part of that reasoning for them, that projection, was simply we live in a society where everybody shares everything. Okay. Many people they don't recognize, they don't think about, they don't believe that there's been a willingness to allow no privacy. And when we don't honor our information, and we don't honor the fact that having all of that out there we give away more and more and more of our power and our own control over our own lives, over our own information, and things become very invasive. So I personally do my best to protect my privacy, protect my control over my own information. Not because I have anything to hide, but if you listen to many things on some of these platforms, I think it would be very self-explanatory as to why I do that. Saying too much on any platform, and then these people are gone, right? So there's that, but do your due diligence. Again, whether that is with me or with someone else, I feel there's that needed to be said. Okay. So anyways, guys, this is what I have for you for today. You can go from this to this. Obviously, again, this is very general because it's just a general reading, but I still feel like this shows that this kind of work works, and it shows that it makes a difference. So anyways, guys, until next time, I hope you enjoyed the reading. Please don't forget to give a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Each and every one of these things help me, help the channel, but more importantly, they help us to help each other. Until next time, guys, talk to you later.